Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are focusing in and zooming in on a lot of I would say one of the most frequent questions I get is, how do I have hope? I've lost all hope after this relationship. How do I recover? I feel so exhausted. I feel so depleted. I feel so burned out. And this is oftentimes the resulting impact of being in a relationship or working with or being in a family with a narcissist or multiple narcissist individuals. And I would say particularly devastating is the feeling of defeat or the resultant feeling of isolation or loneliness that results from the ostracizing of or alienating of them from the pack. And if you can understand that this is the emotional tactic, it's the emotional manipulation tactic to isolate and scapegoat. To isolate and scapegoat. So if you can feel alone, if you can feel like you don't belong, if you can feel like you're not part of, if you can feel like you are separate from, if they can make you to feel or treat you in this way with which, you've got a little something off, there's something wrong with you, you're too sensitive, you're too nice. You place so much importance then on trying to get, appease them and get into the belonging and think like they think, the group think, even though you have to deny your own inner truth, your own inner North Star, your own inner compass, which I think it's generally kind of like a compass where like basically, you know what is wrong. In other words, me being smacked along the face is wrong. Me being pushed and tortured is wrong. Me having nails dug into me is wrong. Telling me that I should be so ashamed of myself because my brother beat me up is wrong. I mean, all these different things. This is wrong. You are not lovable. Being told that you're not lovable is very hurtful. Being told, that you should not have this perception. Being told that, your hair is a rat's nest. Being told that you have, lines on your neck when you're 3 and having your mother trying to scrub them out, for example, like me, it's just like people have lines in their skin. I mean, it's normal. And to have a parent try to scrub out, lines in your skin is just ridiculous. But, and looking at you with such disgust, that, why do you have this about you? And even though these are normal, natural things, these are projections from mental pathologies. To have, people defile you and make you feel physically inferior, mentally inferior. They're not able, it's them that is the failure. Oftentimes it's a school system, which is a failure to those people who they have failed because they're not able to bring out the best of them. People get graded. They have grades, according to their skills. You'll never amount to this. They're told at an early age, you will never amount to this because of that. You'll never amount to this because of this. So the kid is just like, that's it. That's the end of it for me. It's very, very awful. Instead of, education, which should be bringing out the best of people. But that's not really how much of life works. And I know in some societies, it's like, you are taught from a very early age, like you are going to perform this, and like it's like do or die, So these people end up becoming very, very scholastically and academically superior because their parents reinforce and reward them for their learning. They are held accountable on a daily basis. It's like, you are learning this, you are getting your math, you're getting your engineering, you're getting your drawing, you're getting your computers. That's it. Like, we have a zero tolerance for failure. So they're given very, very much support, reward, and acknowledgement, and they're set up in a very positive environment, versus being told, getting whacked, getting insulted, getting berated, so feeding a lot of the negative images and just basically pushing them away, like not giving them what they need. This is it's human. It's knowing how to work with human capital. Human emotions, human beings in general, and understand there's different personality types, and that you need to foster and be supportive of their unique personality types, and furthermore, not let certain personality types get out of control. So we're talking here very much about, reclaiming that inner voice, that inner person as a resultant of that maladaptive treatment. And, the narcissist is going to only look at things from one-sided view. You have to give 3 dimensions to your life now. You need to take your personal assessment, and you need to begin with the smallest little nugget, which is the I am, and I am lovable. And you need to really allow yourself to feel that in your life. If you have never been able to feel that in your life, and that has exhausted you because you are now so really exhausted and depressed from not being in touch with that personal power, realize that there is a personal power that you will feel if you are lovable. And so oftentimes that is the root of the depression, the exhaustion, and the hopelessness is feeling that you are not lovable, and that you are not loved, and that you are not wonderful, beautiful the way that you are, for who that you are, and accepted for who that you are. And that allow yourself to pull out. Remember the root word ajikari, to bring out. You're not allowed to expand from that inner truth and that inner belief, and that very inner, because your belief really does cultivate and direct your life. It really does drive your life. So if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to make it an inch. If you don't believe you can, you won't take the first step. If you don't feel the passion, then you won't be able to continue. If you don't have that value and self-validation, which means validating yourself, not needing it to come from outside, then you will not have the energy. You're needing someone else to say go. You're needing someone else to say go for it. You're needing someone else, and that's why a lot of people do need to have emotional support systems, spiritual support systems like we have here on the channel, to really make it and to get that spiritual support. To help remind you of who you are, that you are a wonderful person. Your kindness, attention, your love, your sweetness, your gentleness, your very presence can be very beneficial and healing to others. So, but if you're around a narcissist, a borderline, a psychopath who, is basically stepping all over and trying to prove to you otherwise, and that furthermore, promulgates themselves forward by giving you the wrong message, well, there you go. You have now fallen into their quicksand. You have now fallen into their muck. So you have to, clean your eyes from their, a vision of them. You have to clean your ears from hearing their voice. You have to clean your feeling from feeling what they wanted you to feel. You have to detox your body from that. And you have to say, okay, enough is enough. I'm now going to give myself more positive feelings now through my senses, through feeding that inner, that inner well, filling that inner space with the positive. The flowers, go out and smell some flowers, pick some flowers. Go out and feel the wind, the gentle wind. If you need to feel something gentle, you have too many, negative voices, go outside and listen to the birds and just listen to the wind rushing by your ears. This doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You can go to YouTube and hear, beautiful classical music. You can hear waterfalls. You can hear crackling fires. You can hear drum beats. You can hear 432 hertz. You can hear harp music. There are so many resources at your fingertips and the information age that if you can't maximize this, you have to realize the resources that are abounding in front of you. And that, our forefathers, the people who were 2, 3, 4 generations before us, who didn't have the running water, electricity, who didn't have this information, how did they survive? And look at where you're at and begin to take stock of where you're at in your life at this time and space, and realize how many resources you have to really rehabilitate yourself, re-innovate yourself, educate yourself. Get yourself an online degree if you want a certificate. Go and and pursue studies. Begin to fill your mind with the things that you want to be, do, and have. If you're backsliding, then you're going to get wherever backsliding takes you. And that's going to be further in the rut. It's going to be further in the hole. And this is going to be depression. This is going to be depression. This is going to be apathy. And this is going to give you, that's basically where it's going to, you're going to fall back. And really that's part of, where you need to take control. And it's getting into the I am and then realizing what is energizing. So if the negative thoughts are de-energizing, then stop the negative thoughts and begin to say, I am energy. I am positive energy. I am enthusiasm. I am vibrancy. I am passion. I have an inner fire. I have an inner fire. I know my inner fire. I know my inner enthusiasm. I know what I'm passionate about. I know what I love. I know what excites me, and I'm pursuing what excites me. I know what I love and adore, and I'm at one with what I love and adore. I am enthusiasm and energy, and no one can defile this. No one can take this away from me. This is mine. I own this. This is me. This is mine. This is what, I have this and no one can take it away from me. Period. End of story. And when you get to that and you know that, you can tap into that inner voice, which will then be energizing. And knowing that you have power to develop better self-talk, more confident self-talk. And to generate better emotions, the emotions of happiness, joy, enthusiasm, excitement, wonder, adventure, and that you have the body to get yourself there. I'm taking action. I'm getting the pen, like Peace and Harmony said. I'm writing this in the calendar. I'm making a trip. I'm going out there. I'm going on vacation. I'm going on a walk. I'm taking a day off. I'm doing my recovery date. My 2 hours of recovery date have now turned into a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 7 day, 3 month trip. I am now fully healed and recovered. I see that in my scope now. I am now eating better. Peace and Harmony told me that, I'm regressing and that I'm eating like crap. And I know it now. And I'm eating better. I'm eating more fruits, vegetables, live enzymes. I'm now eating more of the lean meats. I'm looking at my cabinet and I'm seeing how many carbs I have, carb after carb after carb after salt. And I'm getting rid of that. That's contributing to my depression. That's contributing to my apathy. I'm identifying the positive things in my life which are energizing to me, and I'm tapping into those for as much as I can take it. It's difficult. It hurts. It sucks. For a technical term, it is rough. It is difficult to push the line like we're going here. We're pushing the line. The I am, you're still with it. You're rising above. You're rising above that funk. You're rising above the dysphoria. The dysphoria is that bottom, terrorized place, that brainwashed place where the psychopath is going to dump you out. They're gonna dump you. It's like the dead bodies. They want to leave you for dead. It is no joke. They want to leave you emotionally deadened, unhappy, fruitless, relationshipless, listless in your life. That is their end game. Why? We can ask that question till the cows come home. And what if the cows never come home and you're still asking why? Why Peace and Harmony? Why? It is what it is. Look back at it. It was a point in time that you endured. For your forefathers have endured other things, perhaps even worse. Let's put things in perspective. Okay. Difficult things happen. Back in the early 1900s, people had to work in steel mills where there weren't fire traps and buildings would collapse on people. Is that your situation right now? Can you honestly tell me right now that you're watching me from a steel mill where there's no windows, where you have no fire traps, and that you're working basically with only 2 inches of space to work in, and you can't breathe, you can't stretch, you can't walk, you can't find fresh air? Look at some of the history. Check some of the history of the Dust Bowl in the United States. Look at some of the early working conditions when people first immigrated to the United States. Some of the horrific, factories. Study some of the factories that there are in Taiwan and China, where these people Thailand or some of these places where people have to get on a raft. 200 to a raft, where they're all basically scrunched like this and they have to go over and work for pennies a day and they're starving. Is that you right now? Is that where you're at? And if you are you trying to get out of it? Are you connecting with other places where there's more prosperity, where there's happiness? Are you trying to get out of that? Are you making an effort? If you're not making an effort, then that's where you're going to stay stuck. You have to ignite the fire within. You have to realize that, your mind you've allowed your mind to make things worse than what they are, and you've allowed yourself to become a victim. That is a consciousness. You need to get that out of your scope, get out and get walking. Realize the abundance that life is giving you the opportunity. There's always a new horizon you can put your sights on. So if you can take advantage of that once, twice, 5 times a day, 10 times a day, you'll find that your life is making strides and movement going forward, and you're wondering why you were so stuck. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share. Please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.